Hey guys, it's October 30th and I thought I would finally do my Q&A video. So I hit 2,000 subscribers. I feel so excited. Also, I feel like it's kind of funny that I am celebrating something when I am dressed as Carrie, but that's okay. It's spooky season and my flowers are over somewhere else. So I asked for questions on Instagram and in like one of my weekly updates. So I'm just going to answer as many as I can. I'm probably not going to make this more than 15 minutes long. So if I hit 15 minutes, I'm going to stop. I'm probably going to start with the Instagram questions just because they're easier questions. I feel like you guys asked me harder questions on the YouTube video. Also, I looked at them as they were happening, but I don't quite remember them, nor did I like prepare any answers. So hopefully this isn't a total disaster. But if I planned anything out more than this, then I probably wouldn't do anything. Oh, also, Jake made a cake for me for when I hit 2,000 subscribers. That was so sweet. So I'm going to insert a clip of the cake and a clip of him making it. I think if I did record some of that, I can't remember because I was just having so much fun watching him in the kitchen hard at work. So yeah, I will insert those clips if I can. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, I obviously post my stuff. So oh gosh, okay, maybe I should have done some research. Yeah, okay. I need to look up. My first question was from Nicole. Nicole asked me a lot of questions, and most of these questions are probably me from Nicole. But she asked me what my top 10 movies from our movie marathons so far is, which is me and Nicole and like Agnes and Natalie and Bailey and Will. Me and Agnes and Natalie and Nicole and Bailey. Well, that's it. Yeah, there used to be more of us. Yamini is actually the one that had us start. We started with Yamini. Anyways, the point is that she asked me what my top 10 movies are from the marathon this year. So I'm going to pause this and look at that. Okay, so I'm not going to talk about these movies at all, I have 11, and these are, I guess, in order. So I'm starting in January, and I don't remember exactly what months these are, but A Scanner Darkly, Da 5 Bloods, A Pigeon Sat on a Bench Reflecting on Existence, Black Orpheus, The Thieves, Ocean's 8, Call Me By Your Name, Hedwig and the Angry Inch, Tampopo, Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown, and My Neighbor Totoro. Okay, so those are my top 11 so far from our movie marathons. Then she asked me Snog, Marry, Avoid, Vin Diesel, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and Jason Statham. This is clearly because of my love for Fast and Furious. I would obviously, unfortunately, kill Vin Diesel. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm used to the other version of this game. I would avoid Vin Diesel, Snog, Jason Statham, and marry The Rock. I think that is the only acceptable option in my opinion. And then someone else asked me which Fast and Furious movie is your favorite. That is tough. I actually don't know the number of it. I think it's 6 or 7. It's the one where they go to like Abu Dhabi, and there's the scene between Michelle Rodriguez and I think her name is Ronda Rossi. I'm not sure, but she's like an MFA or MF. I don't know anything about fighting, but they have a fight scene and it is so good. And there's like fancy outfits and cars and the whole gang is together. Han is there. Everyone's together. And I just like love that movie so much, but I don't remember what number it is or the plot. I just remember all the good bits are in it. Clearly I need to rewatch these movies again. And then, oh gosh, if I were trapped on an island and could only have one book, which would it be? I feel like I would want it to be like an anthology. Maybe the Decameron, maybe. I haven't read it, but I don't think it's quite an anthology. I've never read it. But I feel like something that's like multiple stories would be more fun because then you can like reread it and it won't be boring, hopefully. I mean, nothing is gonna, I'm not a big, it's fine. We'll just move on. Oh gosh, and then we get to the part where I don't know how to, what is my favorite genre? I assume this is of book. And I don't know, just like regular, plain, I guess like literary fiction actually, because contemporary fiction, like I don't like, my preference is translated. My preference is from a small press. I don't trust things that are new and shiny so much. Oh gosh, I think I have to sneeze. And then I got asked a question, what book made you cry the most? Oh my God. That is a very, tough question because I cry a lot when I read. I kind of think Know My Name by Chanel Miller, at least like in recent memory, made me cry the most. That book still, I think I'm going to reread it next year. It just was so good. Really, really, really good. God, I was asked so many dumb questions by Jake. He asked me Spike or Ron, aka Spike from Buffy, or Ron from Harry Potter. It depends on the day, let's be honest. Do I ever read out loud to my cats? No, I do read out loud to Jake sometimes though, but not to the cats. Reading out loud is kind of exhausting. I don't like doing it unless I have to. You can only read one book over and over again for the rest of your life. What is it? I feel like this is kind of like the other question, except harder, because I don't know. That's really hard. Shoot. Let's see if I can circle back to that. How much more fulfilling is booktube than unboxing tube? I used to do unboxing videos, and this is much more fulfilling. This is so much more fulfilling. Unboxing videos are not fulfilling at all. Not at all. It's satisfying to watch people open things, but this is much more fun, clearly. What are some of your favorite moments you've had on booktube? Meeting all of my friends. I've met so many booktubers. It's really, really exciting, and I love it so much. And my goal is to meet everyone that I, interact with. I love it so much. It's so much fun. Do you ever have a hard time focusing on reading? If yes, any tips to get in the zone? I do have a hard time focusing on reading sometimes, and now is one of those times. I feel like for the last, again, like 3 months, I've barely been reading anything, and I don't have any tips to get into the zone. I feel like, personally, I think that it kind of like ebbs and flows, and everyone has their moments when they're not feeling it as much and feeling it more, and I feel like the pressure to try to like force yourself to read when you're not like not in love with reading, but when you're not able to focus on reading, when your attention isn't able to be there, if you try to force it, then I think that it kind of like takes away from the magic and joy of reading. So I would say just do whatever you want. I know some people say like read your favorite author, like, some stuff like that, and I'm sure that that's fine too, but just do something else. Since you used David Rose, my like background, I think, for my question when I made the question box on Instagram, I will ask you a shit's question. Which character are you? That is a very good question. I think that I am like, aren't we all just a different character again, depending on the situation? I feel like I most relate to, I don't know. I mean, Stevie is who, like, I wish that I was, but I feel like I'm more of a Moira. I don't know. David, too. It's hard. I'm just a regular person in the town. Let's all be honest. I love that show so much. Oh my gosh. Top 5 books in translation. This is something else I need to look up. Hold on. Okay, I picked 6 instead of 5, and it's just this year. My 6 favorite translated things this year, and I'm gonna go kind of in order again as well. So Showa, 1926 to 1939, A History of Japan by Shigeru Mizuki, translated by Zach Davison. Super, like, just really informative, really interesting book. That is like the first part of the Showa era in Japan. Amazing, plus like a little bit of memoir mixed in there. The Disaster Tourist by Yun Ko Eun, translated by Lizzie Bueller. I feel like I've talked about this book like enough on this channel, but it is so good. I also did a podcast episode with Michael from Knowledge Lost. I will link that below. I don't think that we talked a ton about this book because I had read it a while prior to the podcast recording, but I just love this book so much. Such good commentary on like, you know, travel and like voyeurism and just like how we affect, it's so good. And, you know, climate change, everything. It's so good. By Night the Mountain Burns by Juan Tomás Ávila Laurel, translated by Jethro Sautar. And this author is from Equatorial Guinea. I'm pretty sure that's super awkward. Yeah, Equatorial Guinea. And this is like, just, I also feel like I've talked about this book so much, but you know, kind of like a, what is the word, like an oral history kind of like passed on with like lots of bits and bobs, and it's like really smooth when you read it. There's not a lot of breaks in it or anything, but it's very like you're just being told a story, and so, you know, he goes off on like little tangents and then always comes back to where he was going, and it just, the writing was phenomenal. The Book of Anna by Carmen Buyosa, translated by Samantha Schnee. I obviously also think that I've talked about this book enough, but that's okay. This book takes place during the Russian Revolution, St. Petersburg, 1905. We're living in a world where Anna Karenina was created by Leo Tolstoy, and like her children are living in the world among like regular humans, and it's really, really good and really interesting and also really well written and so good. And then I have two that one that I really don't think I've talked about. Irlanda by Espido Freire, translated by Toshia Kamei, and this is one of those wackadoodle, like really unreliable narrator, young, angry adolescent who's like visiting with her cousins. I did film a wrap up of my reading in August. I just like have not posted it, so I'll post it eventually, but so good. I almost DNF'd it, and I'm so glad I didn't. And then The Tunnel by Ernesto Sabato, translated by Margaret Sayers Pedden. I just finished this, and I feel like I just talked about it recently, but also just so good. A man has murdered a woman, and he's talking about like why he did it, and Jake just got home with food, so I'm gonna finish this video later. Okay, hopefully this is kind of in the same place. All right, sorry, I took a longer intermission than I thought I was going to. All right, so next question. What are some characters in books you'd want to be friends with IRL? This is kind of a difficult question because I feel like most of the books that I read, at least the ones that I enjoy, have despicable humans in them, and so like I wouldn't necessarily want to be friends with them IRL. But I think maybe I don't know. I guess I don't really have any books behind me. The robot in the Hitchhiker series I think is really funny and would be fun to hang out with because, you know, I like his vibe. But that's all that I can really think of. Yeah. All of my read books are not in this room, so it's difficult. And again, I mean, I feel like most people that I read about, or like most of the fictitious things that I read are about crummy people. And then Jake, my fiance, my loving partner, who I've been with for over 10 years, has asked, how guilty should I feel for not watching all of your videos? 1, not, to 10, very much. I'm gonna say a 9.5, Jake. You should be watching my videos, but that's okay. I have other friends that watch for me or watch with, you know, whatever. And then a most emotionally exhausting but worthwhile thing you read this year. I think, I don't know why I can't say that word, cast. I want to say cased, but it's cast by Isabel, oh my gosh, Wilkerson? Jeez Louise. Why am I so bad at things? Yeah, Isabel Wilkerson. Okay, thank goodness. Poof. Yeah, that was definitely worthwhile, but really difficult. Top 3 horror films. That is so difficult. I mean, Scream is my favorite. It is the one that I like. That is my favorite movie, one of my favorite movies just in general. I really like Ghost Ship. Ghost Ship is super, super good. I don't know. I can't think of anything else. Oh, we just watched Malignant and I loved it so much. We'll just go with that, but it is hard again. favorites are so hard. And then she asks me, Nicole, come on, what is your favorite color? Purple. How are Laverne and Shirley? I don't know, they're just a mess. What is your favorite non-BookTube prize book you've read so far this year? I feel like I kind of already mentioned my favorites because most of my favorites are things in translation. I'm just gonna say like my most, like the thing that I was most pleasantly surprised by was Irlanda, which I've already talked about in this video. But I really liked that book. But it's so hard. I like everything is different. You can't compare. It's like comparing your children against each other. You know what I'm saying? Like they're all nice children. Favorite Parks and Rec character? Definitely April and Ron, actually. Ron. It's Ron. Favorite ice cream flavor? Mint chocolate chip. I already answered that question. What are your... Oh, already answered that question. Okay, I guess this is when I was learning how to do things. I'm not going to answer that question. Why do I sign up for every reading event? Thanks, Michael. Because I like to join things, which is so funny because in high school I was such an anti-joiner. I hated joining things. It's just fun. I like to participate in things. I get really bad FOMO when other people look like they're having a really fun time doing things, and then I'm like, I want to have fun also doing that thing. So that's mostly why. And then Michael also asked, what is your journey with world literature? This is I don't know. It's an interesting question, but it's kind of hard for me to answer. So before BookTube, I joined BookTube in fall of 2014, 7 years ago, basically exactly 7 years ago. I think it was like November of 2014. And previous to joining BookTube, my like top authors were Kurt Vonnegut and Haruki Murakami, and that's it. And like I had read like Anna Karenina and stuff. Like I definitely like was an avid reader before joining BookTube. But I don't think I realized like what a lack of world literature I was experiencing, because I was just like reading my favorite. I was reading basically lots of books by the same few authors, as opposed to now I feel like I'm reading, like I've read like a Murakami book and a Kurt Vonnegut book in the last like couple of years. So, and I still have plenty of books in both of their like bibliographies that I haven't touched yet. I would say those are probably two of my favorite. I mean, and Nabokov obviously also. Those are probably like my favorite authors in general. So where was I going with this? Basically, I read from a much wider variety of people. So I'm not reading the same authors over and over again, although I think I might actually make some kind of a project or challenge to do that next month, because I do miss it, and like what I'm doing with my movies is kind of inspiring me to do that. But yeah, so I definitely am engaging more and realizing more, and like being frustrated at the lack of availability for things in translation from certain countries, helping host, and even though I lately haven't been doing much for the Invisible Cities project, has also really helped with that, because I definitely have lots of books on my shelves from different countries and whatever, but it is definitely skewed towards Europe. Like France and Italy and Germany are all over my shelves, and books from Africa are like so limited, like what I have. And even Asia, it's like almost every single book from Asia that I have is from Japan. And so it is really nice participating in this and like kind of being forced. I'm not really doing a super great job of actually reading the books, but I am at least acquiring the books. So they're going to be on my shelves and something that I have to look forward to, which I really appreciate. And I love the randomness too, because we just kind of like randomly pick countries, not to like give you too much of a peek behind the curtains if you participate, but it's not like something like, oh, let's focus on this time, like, because all of us want to read from all of the countries in the world, so it is hard to pick, so it is kind of random. And yeah, I'm really appreciating it and excited that it will continue theoretically. He also asked me, how do you find time to read? Don't even ask me. Lately, I have not been finding time to read, and it's, again, kind of upsetting. And then some books you'd recommend since starting your channel. This is also a really hard question that requires me to think. Let me, I don't know. I feel like I would have to do a whole video on this. So I'm just gonna like set this aside and bookmark it, and then maybe I'll make a video with that. And like, yeah, because yeah, I haven't like revisited. I mean, I'm sure that there's new viewers that haven't watched all of my videos, so maybe I'll go back and like look throughout the last few years and like find some gems. The problem is that, again, I like so many things. It's difficult. Let's see. And then what is my third favorite thing to do in my spare time? I don't know what she thinks my second favorite thing to do is, but read, watch movies, and cook, I guess, are like the only things that I like to do. I do derby, but I'm not very good at it. And I like to organize things, and like reorganize things in spreadsheets and those kinds of things, and lists. Making lists is a hobby, I think. Yeah, watching movies is pretty much the best. So then Adva asked me, I know you've been to visit family in Italy. Have you been to the Dominican Republic? Do I still have family there? Yeah, so I actually haven't been to the Dominican Republic since I graduated high school in 2005. I went there for 3 months right after I graduated high school. I had gone like previously, you know, a few times growing up, but yeah, I just have not gone in a long time. And my mom lives there. So my mom moved to the DR earlier this year. And then obviously my cousin lives there. And then my aunt, you know, my aunt has kids in Italy, the Dominican Republic, and New York. So she kind of like splits her time amongst the three. So, you know, sometimes she's in the Dominican Republic. And the last like months and months, they've both been there through the pandemic. So yeah, I need to go. My goal is to go next year at some point after like wedding is done and after all of my things are done. I also have no idea how long this video is going to be because like I have continuously paused things and it's at 9 minutes and 35 seconds in this clip. So I'm going to try to move a little bit faster with my mouth. Oh my gosh, Nicole, you asked me so many questions. I forgot. Do I prefer... Nicole, I love you so much. Why do you pretend to dislike animated films? I know your soul loves them. Really? I don't gravitate towards them. They're fine most of the time. Would you prefer having a majority of unread or read books on your shelves? I would prefer a majority of read books on my shelves. However, my eyes are bigger than my stomach, you know, so I'm always taking in more than I'm actually consuming. Do I have an ideal amount of unread books you would like to have on your shelves? Yes, actually, this bookcase right here, let me see. This bookcase right here is where I would like all of my unread books to fit on this bookcase. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shelves. So my goal would be to have one shelf from books from the US, one from like other English speaking countries like England, Australia, you know, Canada, etc. And then one for Europe, one for Africa, one for Asia, one for like Latin American countries, and then one for Russia. I don't know why I feel like Russia needs its own shelf. But anyways, that would be like my ideal situation. We'll see if I ever get there. Which books were the biggest disappointment to you this year and why? Oof. Let me check. I'm not sure actually. All right. Stiff by Mary Roach was definitely my biggest disappointment of the year because I thought that I would love it because I love science. I love bodies. I'm interested in death and decay. So that should be for me, but did not like it very much. That's just the one. Let's say, are there any YA books you think are good or passable? Let's say passable. I actually really did like, Biscuits. The Perks of a Wallflower, I think. Oh my gosh. I should have read these questions beforehand. Perks of Being a Wallflower. I'm pretty sure I read that. I guess I only gave it 3 stars, but I did like it. And I'm sure that there's others, but now I just can't think of any. Oh, I love the Fear Street books. I haven't reread them, but I really liked them when I read them. And I would say, Chuck Palahniuk was my favorite author before I started reading Kurt Vonnegut. And to me, now in retrospect, all of his books are for sure YA, but it was like really, you know, when you're like 17, 18, like you think you're really edgy reading Chuck. And it's like a little bit over the top and a little bit like obvious, the things that he does and stuff. But I would consider his books to be YA, and I really liked them all. I really liked Rant and Survivor. Those are my two favorites. I would actually totally reread those two. And I do want to finish reading all of his books because I'm so close. Might as well. Which book were you the most pleasantly surprised by this year? Biscuits. I'm just going to skip this question. I'm sorry, Nicole, but you've asked me so many and I'm answering a lot of them. I'm trying to do rapid fire. Favorite emo band of yesteryear? Evanescence. No, I guess I wasn't really. I just liked that one song. Favorite emo band? I wouldn't consider Garbage to be an emo band. I mean, I guess, I don't know. Oh my God, this is so hard for some reason. Let's just say, yeah, that's fine. Okay, do you hate dogs or do you just hate their boundless optimism? I hate their boundless optimism for sure. What is Laverne's favorite food? She loves tube treats and just any food that I give her. Shirley's favorite activity is hissing at anyone that enters our house and trying to cuddle into my neck all the time and drive me completely insane. What flavor was the celebratory 2 Subs cake Jake made? It had different layers. It was chocolate and vanilla layered. And then the buttercream was like orange cream flavored. And then there was also like a jam in between that was, it had fruit in it. I think it had raspberries in it and maybe like was orange or something. And then there was a peanut butter flavored Rice Krispie treat that he made that the cat's out of. It was I'm so pleased. What kind of books did you like in high school? Were your interests a lot different? Oh God, what a good freaking question. I'm just gonna stop this and do a part 2 because this is too long. I can just tell.